So I'm in prison in Dublin, California, and I decide that it might be a good idea to blog about my experiences. I was sentenced and then got 8 weeks to self surrender. So I had time and I started writing and sharing about my experiences on a blog. And when I went to prison, I found out that I could write my husband on an email. It was like not like the internet or anything, but I could write to him and share my experiences. And I said, why don't you just post it on my blog? Well, it turns out, and I really didn't know what to expect from prison because I had never been in prison, but the things that I were writing about made the prison look bad, such as there were fights that officers didn't break up, or girlfriend relationships and things that really shouldn't have been. I mean, they're against the rules, and a lot of times people look the other way, but they're not supposed to. So I'm getting called over to the officer station at least once a week, and the lieutenant's asking me why I wrote what I wrote because now it's public, right? Well, one day he tells me, he said, hey, Louder, you're going to make your time a lot harder on yourself in here if you continue to write about the prison. And I remember saying, that sounded like a threat, and I don't think you were trying to threaten me. And he's like, well, maybe you'd prefer doing your time in the SHU. Well, the SHU is called Segregated Housing Unit, and he ended up putting me in the SHU. I was there for a month, and then they shipped me to a different prison. And they can do that to anybody. It's called an administrative ship for any reason. What I didn't know is that ConAir is a real thing. So I'm in the SHU, and the U.S. Marshals show up. They chain you, they shackle you, they put you on a bus, and then they take you to a landing strip, and this great big plane shows up, really ConAir. You've got U.S. Marshals with shotguns, and it's very intimidating. I'm thinking, wait a minute, I'm here for real estate fraud, right? Like, I'm so surprised. This looks like pretty serious. So they end up making us go up this little tiny ramp into the plane. You can barely shuffle up there with your chains and shackles on. I get on the plane, and the girl next to me says, whatever you do, don't eat the food they give you. It'll make you sick. So we get to the next place, which was Pahrump, Nevada, and all the inmates have to get off again. They put us on a bus, and then they ship us out to, or they take us out to the Pahrump Detention Center. And then we're there for a month, and then they come and get us again, put us on the bus, take us back to the plane, and the plane lands in Oklahoma. Now, this is where it gets crazy. We get to Oklahoma, and the detention center that the feds stay in is full, so they take us to a county jail, Grady County Jail. And when I walk in, you can tell right away this is not somewhere you want to be. And there's a girl, or no, there was a guy in a room, and he was being tased. And the girl that was chained to me, her name was Diamond, and she kind of flipped out. She's like, hey, you can't treat us like this. We're the feds. And that's when I said, unchain me from Diamond, please, because I don't want to go where she's going. They did unchain me from Diamond and took me to general population and put her in an isolation cell. And then 3 days later, the U.S. Marshals show up again, put us back on a bus, take us back to the plane, and eventually I landed in Waseca, Minnesota, and I've never been so glad to get to a prison in my life.